Good morning, garden friends, on this cool fall winter day. Got to have my cup of coffee out here, even though I'm in this screened in porch. It's still chilly out here. So, what I'm going to be doing is bringing back my sip, sow, and share community garden conversations. And I think it's like perfect timing because I don't know about you guys. Here in Georgia, we are going to be having below freezing temperatures for the next 7 to 10 days. And that does end up limiting what can be done in the garden, if we're being realistic, And so, what I wanted to do was take this opportunity to share with you some of the chats that we've had in the community board in regards to different questions that I had asked some of my subscribers and those that visit my page. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question was, what is your favorite season? Spring, summer, or fall? Now, based off of the tally, fall and spring were the top contenders, and then summer, and then nobody cared for winter. And I get it, because depending upon the area that you're in, if you have snow, you're not going to be able to do much within your garden. But I do know for myself, having the longer growing season here down in Georgia does allow me to, work in my garden all the way pretty much through fall. But here are some of the comments that individuals ended up making when it came to their favorite season. So Allie says she loves summer. She loves the feel of the warm sun on her face. The breeze when she's driving to work, it smells like an alfalfa field. She talked about how she loves her hummingbirds that fly past her, heading towards the lantana. So it's so nice to hear what makes it special about the seasons for the individuals that commented. So thank you so much, Allie. Iris, she loves how the cool and wonderful seasons are because things are growing. Everything is growing, So I would assume that she is talking about spring when everything is coming alive. So thank you so much, Iris, for your comment. June, who is in the Arizona desert, she says fall and winter are her best seasons because there temperatures get anywhere between 111 and 117 degrees and things tend to burn. That's hot. That's hot, June. T said that spring is hers, and I love how she referenced that it is this season of promise. And that is so true. When we end up planting, whether it's bulbs or perennials, having it come to life at spring, it's the promise of beauty. So thank you so much, T, for your comment. And then Cajun says she loves every season except for winter. And, I understand that, because even here in Georgia, while we don't get snow, we do get, some freezing temperatures, which ends up making it really hard in order to garden. So ladies, thank you so much for your comments on, letting us know what your favorite season is. So the next question has to do with gardening styles. As we move into the new garden season, I wanted to know what techniques individuals end up, being interested in. So you end up having the square footage gardening technique. And that is where Your garden is measured off by a foot. And then what it allows you to do is really pack in, your plants, to where they are able to maximize their productivity, and you making the right decision about the space requirements that are needed. I mean, you don't want to put something in a foot that requires 3 feet, so this technique allows you to be precise in regards to what you are planting in those cubes. Plus, it helps in reducing weeding because everything is compacted into those areas. It helps with not allowing weeds to end up growing. So I found that one really interesting, and that's one of the things that I am going to be trying out this year in one of my raised beds, mainly with like herbs and vegetables that don't take up a lot of space, but I can incorporate herbs that'll keep the pesky bugs away, so that my vegetable garden can be fruitful. Next one was vertical. We tried that this year with our cantaloupe, watermelon, and zucchini. The zucchini end up producing, some vegetables for us, but it was definitely a learning experience of what I should have done when it came to the zucchini. The watermelon and cantaloupe did very well in growing up vertical. And this is the thing, vertical gardening is an excellent choice for like an urban garden, possibly, if you got a balcony, a small area to where you are not taking up ground space, because everything is growing upward. And then too, it ends up giving you a wall of greenery. So, that is another benefit of going with the vertical gardening technique. The next one is permaculture. This is a self-sufficient ecosystem by mimicking nature's process. You're integrating techniques like companion planting, rainwater harvesting, compositing to build a resilient garden. And some key attributes in this technique is what you're doing is you are replicating nature's forests, by improving the soil, by fostering biodiversity, working with nature instead of against it. And then it promotes a long-term ecological benefits. So we ended up having individuals, as far as the interest in those, being for the square footage, it was 42%. The vertical was 37%. The hydroponic was 11, and the permaculture was 11. So thank you guys for letting me know what you guys are interested in. And like I said, the square footage and the vertical is probably something that I am going to do this season. So I'll make sure I keep you apprised of how that turned out. Right. The next question was, what is your favorite rose? David Austin, heirloom, star rose and plant, or Jackson and Perkins. Now, David Austin, I know that is a very popular brand that individuals end up getting. But I've never had one. I tend to gravitate towards heirloom roses because I've had a lot of success with those. And not saying that, I wouldn't have success with the David Austin. But, I just end up finding that, stick with what stick with what works, for you. So David Austin was 75% of individuals have that as their favorite. 17% was heirloom. I think there was no one that was familiar with star and rose plant. and then Jackson and Perkins was 8%. And this is the thing, when it comes to roses, a lot of times people, struggle with whether or not they want to deal with roses, because the aphids seem to love them, the Japanese beetles seem to love them, they end up with the black spots, and I think a lot of it is, what does your maintenance process look like? Because in a previous video that I had done, when it came to cleanup, I found that when I did clean up in the fall, I did not have the problems with the bugs messing with my roses, nor did I have the black spots. Now, I choose not to use any type of pesticide. I try to use natural things. And one of the things that I did find for my roses was mint, mint soil. Or what I do is I actually make a mint spray out of the natural oils, and spray it on the soil, spray it on the leaves, to make sure that those pesky bugs doesn't end up destroying them. And it's the scent that they don't care for. So thank you guys for sharing with me your favorite rose brand. All right, so the last question is a trivia question, which was, which fruit, commonly mistaken as a vegetable, is the most consumed fruit in the world? And the choices were cucumbers, tomatoes, or bell peppers. And the number one answer is tomatoes. Now, let me tell you about the history of this, which I found very interesting. It stated, and I'm just going to read word for word what it says. Tomatoes are considered a fruit because botanically they develop from the ovaries of a flower and a seed. In botanical terms, a fruit is the mature ovary of a flowering plant, usually containing seeds that help with reproduction. So because tomatoes meet that definition, that is why they are considered a fruit, along with cucumbers and bell peppers. So guys, and 95% of the respondents got that right. So thank you guys so much for responding to the trivia question. Well, you know what? Like I said, because of the time of season that we are in, I will be doing my Sip, Sow, and Share community chat, and putting things on my community board. So I hope that you guys continue to respond, and then I will be able to share with everyone what those results were. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video.